the New Yorker. And one of the things I remember about Drew is very intense, powerful blue eyes that sort of drilled right, through you. Now they've been dulled now by years of drug use, but still, I think there's still a lot of wattage there. And no, so when was that? I mean, now that I've been gone there since I don't know, it's 2017. It's 5 years since I've been there. When did you first come to New York, and then when did you sell a cartoon?
I first started coming in at the end of 2014, I think.
I see.
And actually, you played a major part in it. You lured me in with your memoir, making it look easy. And, the 60 Minutes clip really put it on the radar for me to like.
What were you doing? Tell us a little bit about your career and like what you did. I think you were, involved in art and art design, and maybe, in terms of business, that you were being employed in some sort of design, artistic capacity, or is that not?
Yeah, I went to school for graphic and web design, and I started doing that. And shortly out of school, I started making like comics and little zines and that kind of thing. And then I kind of it started compressing, whereas I was doing short graphic novels. I brought it down to a couple of pages, and then I really started thinking about gag cartooning once I had saw that 60 Minutes clip. And I was even at that point thinking about making a glorious introduction into newspaper cartooning.
Let me just stop. Could somebody euthanize the dog? The dog keeps barking. I'll go down. In fact, maybe I actually have to go down. You guys continue the conversation. Normal here. Okay, dog.
We'll fix it in post.
We got an action recording. It's good.
No,
new grounds.
We don't have great video editors, so we're just going to leave this here to run. I think every time we fix it in post, people have assumed that something really bad happened, or like someone said something bad, and that's why we had to clip it. But it's always been because I accidentally hit stop recording instead of sharing another screen. That's how it works. Well, we'll bring up. I don't know. I could bring up
the cartoon, but you're. And so then you started doing the panel cartoons. Would you? I love your style now. It's like, I think, a perfect gag cartoon style, and just really nice. Did it take you a while to get that style, or?
Oh, it did. A little while. The first time I went in, I think you told me to stop with the Gary Larson business. Because I came in and I actually replicated Zipatone on it to make it look like it.
Oh, yeah, I think that's right. Yeah,
and I had these big noses, and they were very, very cartoony.
Yeah, the big noses can just like completely eliminate your chance of getting into New York. I think it's originally because there were so many Jews there, and we felt that it was anti-Semitic. David Cypress actually is an interesting example of that, because really he had wonderful cartoons, but the noses were huge.
Arnie Levin as well, or there is that old guy.
Arnie Levin actually did more than sort of that European style.
Yeah.
So why don't we start with this contest, which I thought there were a lot of really good entries.
I thought there were a lot of really good ones.
But they really worked.
So here we go. Here's Drew's image. I'll say one other part about Drew's drawing. His color palettes are always really great. They're
really nice.
Very muted and very different than really anyone else puts together. So there is a man at his desk with a plant, and I guess it was part of a lot of captions, but the old famous "Hang in There" picture of the cat, and talking to.
What is that? What is the cat doing?
So the cat is holding on. This was in my elementary school behind our teacher. It's a famous picture of. I'll look it up while we're talking here, but it's a cat that's holding on to a branch, and it's about to fall, and it's a "Hang in There." It says underneath. It's an old famous motivational poster.
I was having the Vision GPT Vision do this, and I fool around with the AI, and the cat calendar totally confused it over and over again. Sometimes it said there was a woman looking over the cubicle with a cat head. Sometimes the cat had a crown on its head. Sometimes so that's interesting. I mean, it usually does a fairly good job on normal cartoons, even Caption contest cartoons. But when there's this other element, this complete, I mean, there's a lot of strange elements. One of the things what's the castle? What is the castle reference? What is I mean, are they in hell in some special place where there's
yeah. I mean, I was thinking of Hieronymus Bosch whenever I try and draw hell. And I imagine his, big, huge monolithic castle structures, and
I see. Well, that's really interesting, because that also confused the vision, because you could. I mean, originally when I just look at it, I think when you look, we'd see flames, we see they're in hell, it's a cubicle in hell and stuff like that. But the castle is like a nice, interesting touch. I don't know if any captions reference that in.
There were a couple that didn't, went like Pompeii or ancient Greek architecture.
Yeah, I see. That's right. There was some Nero jokes.
Yes,
that kind of stuff, because of the of that feature. Yeah.
A couple of Dante ones as well, I think. Maybe.
Couple of what?
Dante.
Dante. Oh, Dante. Yeah.
There were some of that. I'm going to quickly share this tab instead, just to get this out of the way here. Okay, it's not working. No, maybe I have to stop screen share and screen this one. I just want to share the original poster.
Oh.
So I think it's a little different, but essentially that's the.
And one of the AI things that did get that.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was, or maybe not, or maybe it was one of the captions that I didn't understand.
Yeah.
There was a great animated series called Dr. Katz on Comedy Central.
Yeah.
And they would always have that calendar in the background, and sometimes they'd zoom in on it.
Yeah, it was in my elementary school, and it actually stressed me out as a kid, because it's like.
but so Drew, therefore you put that in. That actually had a meaning for the cartoon. It wasn't just a cat calendar. It's part of the whole feel of this. Or this is a horrible environment, and you have this motivational poster somehow. That's gonna help you get through it. And so that was that's really a nice sort of touch, I made it really subtle.
Yeah, I wanted to include a caption that used it well, but there really weren't that many. But I did. Right. If there was one that used it well, I really tried to give it extra credit. But we'll move on here to the.
Okay, so
what the caption. So as always, we don't share. We don't know what anybody picks, I compile them all together. We generally start with what we all agreed upon. If there were matches, that's kind of how we begin, but we really end up all over the place. So there were 8, I believe, that were across multiple of our top 10s. I'll quickly read them out. Boss wants it done by the end of days. Honestly, this is just how I pictured it. How do I change my background for video calls? How soon do you need it? I want to quit, but I'm waiting for a sign. Rumor is they may be getting rid of summer Fridays. That's nothing. My stapler is missing. There's always a sense of urgency.
Yeah, so there was 2 end of days ones, and I had both of those. I picked the other one, which didn't have boss, but.
Should we start then? So I don't know. We can try to knock one out here, or start going through any others that we want.
Well, let's.
Can also put some on the image here. If there's any duplicates here that are too close, we can start by kind of taking out one. For some reason, Bob, I actually thought that you did the Summer Fridays one because it was such a big Condé Nast thing, but you didn't do that one.
No,
I had that one.
That was.
I mean, like, there's a lot of people who went the route of let's just ignore this,
Right.
and that's obviously that's that route right there, to some extent, or to juxtapose it with something that couldn't possibly be happening in hell.
Yeah,
I mean, they're all pretty good, and I think if you put them on the image, which we'll do, they look good on the image.
but we get a chance to go through ours also, because I don't necessarily want to defend it, but I just sort of, or maybe I do, but I just sort of why we get a chance to say why we picked the one.
Yeah, well, let's go, Bob.
Yeah.
Let's start ahead with with you here.
So I like the firewall thing. I like Save All. Yeah. So the boss originally, I'll have it to you by end of day. So, but I guess it makes sense more boss because because I did like some with the temperature, because I didn't think it made sense for the guy to be saying it was too warm, because usually it's women who are saying it's too cold in an office. That's usually that. And so I thought that was an interesting one. Stapler video, I had that. So that's not phrased right. Don't tell me you think it's cold in here, but that was the idea I like. It's not the heat, it's the flames. I mean, I just thought that was a good way. It's a good joke. It's not the heat, it's the flames. You know what I mean? It's a really short, compact punchline.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And it will make you laugh, right? And I was washing the dishes the other day, my way of washing it. And when I do this, and then I just said, look, quality is job 6. Okay, so I do like it's not the heat, it's the flames. Okay, so this is related to what I just said. I only picked this one. I can't believe you followed me all this way to hell just to complain about putting the bread away without a twisty tie, because this is my life. This is anyway. So those I do like the flames one, and I mean we have other common ones, but anyway, I like that one. I'm defending that one.
The flames, it's not the heat, it's the flames.
Yeah, just short. It's just and it plays off of obviously
the dry heat, humidity,
or the humidity. It's not the heat, it's humidity.
Yeah. All right, Joel, maybe we move to you here.
I feel as if I went in a different direction from the rest of the group. I think only one of mine matched with. I think my stapler one matched with.
What Joel?
But nothing else.
Yeah,
and I think I was sort of. So I went in a slightly different direction. I was sort of make all the ones I liked were the ones where it was understated or kind of half ignored it. So it's always something I liked, just because it's like a big gap between the catastrophe and the phrase. And I no one else is going to like this because it maybe seems obvious, but I really like, have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in?
I had all of those.
Really?
Originally, this was a really good bunch that worked. I mean, I had 23 or 24, as I, had to eliminate. And I did think the technical stuff of if you tried plugging, like something, what caused this, right? Yeah. What caused this? But I will go back to Lawrence's, when he's written about it, objection. So that's one way to do it. You take a common phrase that would work for different places. I don't think that's the strongest way,
right? That
you get something funny. It works. It works like, did I reply all? So you can imagine that working for many disasters, many pictures in which something terrible has happened. Okay. And it works. And it is definitely a technique. And that's won the Caption contest, but it's not the strongest kind of idea. That's just what I'm saying. It's okay. And that's why you're wrong.
Well, I'm gonna push
I
back.
think
Bob.
he's okay, and that's why. No, I mean, this is,
I'm only going to say that I find, because the scene is so flamey,
and
it
I
feels
had those. I mean, when I came across those, I'm sure you did. You say, "Oh, that's pretty good." I mean, this was a pretty good batch. You know, whether you
yeah,
say,
I did think it was a good batch.
yeah, so it's a good batch, and the plugging one, I did that also. I guess a lot of us have. When you look at all of these, you want to looking for something sort of wacky off the wall. It looks at some minor thing. And so the stapler thing was that.
Yeah, I just feel you don't want to hit it completely on the nose with this. We're in hell. Anything that was like specifically hell, I didn't like those because hell was in the picture. But I can. We'll get. I'm getting intrigued to know what Drew did as his original. But
this is only the first stage. This is a 5-week process. This is only the first stage. We you know, this is like we could be in session well beyond the holidays before this is decided. Okay, where we go?
Let's move over to Drew, I guess here.
Let's see what Drew got wrong. Let's see what the guy who actually did the cartoon.
You know, the one I really loved was I shouldn't have clicked on that link. Because I just imagined, you know, when you click the, you know, the spam link, and all of a sudden your computer's blowing up and all the windows are opening, and I just imagine sitting there in hell at work, and all of a sudden, you know, the walls start falling down and the flames of hell start rising up. I thought that was a nice understated one.
Yeah.
I actually thought It's All Overtime. I thought that was pretty good.
Yeah.
Just because, like, you know, you put in all your time during your life, and then you're stuck in overtime for eternity. But
would that one have been better if there was a space between over and time to kind of highlight maybe more the?
I think it's a little bit hard to get
post time.
Yeah. I mean,
if there was a space, you would get overtime is a phrase or a word. But it would have made it easier to understand. He's talking about the fact that it's all over for them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, I had some of these also. I mean, well, you have I want to quit. I'm waiting for a sign, and a lot of people have that, right? And
there's always a sense of urgency was also there. It was also on us.
I like the quitting one, though. I want to quit, but I'm waiting for a sign, because I was thinking of it.
I think that's pretty good. I want to quit, but I'm waiting.
It works with the image well.
Yeah. And that's the thing, Lawrence and I, we've talked about the obliviousness of, well, clearly this is a pretty clear sign.
I guess we'll keep going, right? Lawrence.
I had several in the 8 that you initially selected.
Yep.
Boss wants it done by the end of days. That's nothing my stapler is missing. How do I change the background? I want to quit. I'm waiting for a sign. The one that I'm really going to fight for is smells like someone's been cooking flesh in the microwave again.
Where is it? Where is this?
Where is it? It's.
I that's great. I didn't.
I like that because
somehow I didn't read it.
Flesh is a nice.
That's very funny.
Is a nice substitute for fish.
I mean,
is something that people complain about at work.
It's sort of crazy. It's like
it's crazy, but it works.
The
thing we were talking before about transforming an ordinary statement into a fitting caption, and Joel was liked a few of those. But I think for those to work, it has to really work within the context of the cartoon and not just show that the person's oblivious. I did like a couple oblivious captions. I liked "What's all the commotion? Did someone bring donuts?" Just somebody, recognize the fact that there's complete pandemonium, but doesn't understand the cause.
You say what that again? I didn't quite hear it.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's the commotion? Did someone bring donuts?
I like that.
No,
It's
I'm not
funny,
gonna-
But I guess you seem too calm. I like that too, but they don't seem to be like there's any commotion. But yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
That's right. So I'm not going to fight for that one like I'm going to fight for cooking flesh. There was one that was kind of stupid, but it did make me laugh because it just reminded me of those awful motivational statements that are kind of like the hang in their cat calendars. My manager encouraged me to view this as inferno. I'm sorry, I screwed that up. My manager encouraged me to view this inferno as an infer yes. It's horrible. It's horrible, but it made me laugh.
My eyes rolled out of my head on that one. Yeah.
I mean, there's a double thing going on there.
I know, but there are managers who will say stupid things like that.
Yeah.
And then, one of the captions I like that takes an ordinary statement and transforms it was, "That's not my department," which you hear people say all the time. That's awful, but it's nothing to do with me.
Yeah.
So anyway, the one that I would go to bat for is cooking flesh.
Yeah, I did like that one. I think what hurt that one for me was not its own fault. It's just that there were so many microwave popcorn jokes that I ended up hating the microwave.
Yeah, but once you put flesh in there.
Yeah, the flesh does.
Yeah, cooking flesh, cooking fish. Well, it's really good.
Something that's funny is like when you can get a little bit of a taboo element into it.
Yeah.
In this normal context.
Yeah.
And so that's so disgusting that.
Well, and also the idea of cooking flesh in hell. I mean, that's what happens.
Yeah.
You're burning in hell.
Yeah.
All right, let me see. So we did.
Okay, let's see where we're
Hold on, I'm trying to think and what fresh hell is this? Not so laugh out. How do I unsend an email? Is again like everything we already said.
Yeah.
It's just a work one that kind of, how do you spell Armageddon? You know what? This one was selected, but this one is the one I laughed the most with honestly, this is just how I pictured it.
I think that is a nice one.
Yeah. It's just
where
you're resigned,
they're working.
Yeah.
They're still working.
Yeah. Like this is hell. This is how I've experienced this. This is what I thought hell would be like. This is hell.
I don't know if I can't remember the title of the Bruce Eric Kaplan book, but it's two people. He did a couple. One of them. It's Rosemary and someone. The guy's name Go to Hell, and it's a book in which this couple wakes up, and everything just seems a little bit off. The traffic jams are a little bit worse. The coffee is a little bit bad. Everything is just slightly worse. And eventually they go to this office, this bureaucracy, and say, yeah, this is hell. This is what it is. It's just everything's a little bit worse forever. I mean, it's a great book. You go look on Amazon. It's a wonderful book, but it's that.
So we'll go through. I put a bunch of these that we chose on the image. We'll see if any kind of match up and look good. Smells like someone's been cooking flesh in the microwave again. Works. That could definitely be a cartoon.
I love that.
It's all overtime. There is something about the over part.
It doesn't actually work. I just don't. It doesn't. Right.
I shouldn't have clicked on that link. I mean, this one works. It's not a laugh out loud. I mean, it works, I'll say.
But also, I think it's been done before. I'm
sure
there are cartoons.
No, I don't want the link thing.
No, it's not one that could ever win.
Apply all.
Yeah, I agree.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not one that could win. Rumor is they may be getting rid of Summer Fridays. I didn't know if they wanted.
I don't know who even knows about Summer Friday.
I think a lot of businesses do it, and I didn't know if it was.
What is Summer Friday?
And the entrant had 2 periods. I didn't know if it was an ellipsis or they messed up with the second period. I just did it how they entered it.
What is Summer Fridays?
You worked at a company that had Summer Fridays for like 30 years.
I've never worked anywhere, as Joel said. I have never worked.
So in like between March and Labor Day, you have half-day Fridays. You never. It's. I mean, the joke is that there are any.
So the joke is there.
The idea that there would be any office
worried about this other minor.
The idea that there would be any perk whatsoever in hell.
No,
Yeah,
Alright.
I don't like it.
I see. Shouldn't summer be capitalized?
I want to quit, but I'm waiting for a sign.
That's good.
That's good.
Yep. How soon do you need it?
Okay, well, explain that to me.
I think this is more of the same. I mean, some people who put it in there, but I assume it's more people where it's just like nothing fucking matters. Like you're in hell.
Yeah, I don't. I think that way of. I mean, the stapler is better, but
Yeah.
either the stapler or the Joel's thing, Joel one, in which that I lost my pen, is this diminishment of it by something. That's good. I mean, you know what I mean. I mean, it's not really. I mean, it makes sense of it all, right? In a different way.
Mm-hmm.
In a different way than anything else is. They're not really in hell.
Yeah, that's true. Not a winner, but it's different than the rest. This one is probably
that's good. That's good.
Probably my favorite. It's not the heat; it's the flames.
Well, just because I run this company, we're using that.
Do you think it needs the ellipsis?
It does not.
What's that?
I don't think it needs the ellipsis. I think we have to edit it.
No.
Oh, do we do that? Do we?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Can I just say?
Yeah, we do.
Normally, you want to include all elements. That misses the office scenario entirely. It's just that would work if it was just a hell scene without the cubicle.
Joel, shut up.
No, but now I am worried though, because you know what? There was one I did change something from. I don't remember what it was.
It's just I think it's fine.
It doesn't, because there are so many cartoons in hell, New Yorker cartoons, which it's a dry heat. So it's actually by using this locution, it's referring to all the hell cartoons that have already occurred that talk about heat, that it's dry heat or geothermal heat. That's a common joke made. And so that's the elusive reference, Joel, that you didn't get, professional cartoonist though that you were.
Bob, if we're including this, it can't win, and we have to change the ellipsis, and we're never gonna.
Yeah, it doesn't have to win, but like I said.
Yeah, as far as changing the ellipsis, I just want to say I think that's fine in this case because it doesn't really affect the rhythm of the joke. But I think a lot of times punctuation is really important.
I think so too. Yeah. Because sometimes they'll be like, "Oh," or there'll be like an exclamation to start something.
Right.
It's
The exclamation,
change.
exclamation points.
Yeah.
Boss wants it. I think this is a classic one.
Yeah.
I think that's really good.
I wanted to add a couple others really quick. This one, sorry.
The only problem with the end of days caption I have is, wouldn't the end of days already have happened?
You're right. And I thought the same thing.
Oh.
But
it's still good.
But we've talked about this before, Lawrence and I, in terms of the book he's writing. Is that there's often a logical inconsistency, a little bit in a joke, but as long as it gets the laugh, you sort of forgive that. You know what I mean?
But to Drew, and your point, I mean, you wouldn't really ever.
It's a good point.
It's
end of days has occurred clearly because it's the end.
But the same token, if it's hell, you can't actually accomplish anything, right?
Yeah.
Do you know that as a fact, Trevor? That's surmise.
I can't imagine like hell is this like productive place where you like.
Well, I'm seeing it the other. Well, I'm feeling very contrary today. I see that hell would be like sewing mailbags. You would be there for a purpose that you didn't enjoy. So, yeah.
Yeah, so let's keep the end of days. I just think it sort of passes the immediate funny test for most people, just because the punchline comes at the end, and for that second, you put together the associations, and then later you could say, it's not working, but.
All right, well,
that doesn't work. That was the only one of mine that made it, and that doesn't work. The stapler one in situ, I don't think.
Well, I think we learned a lot by looking at them.
I think it was a learning experience for everyone.
Yeah. All I think we're getting rid of Summer Fridays. We're getting rid of. There's always a sense of urgency.
We're not getting rid of Bob's.
We're not getting rid of Bob's.
We're not getting rid of Bob's. Look, it's important to have someone who's a boss like me who makes arbitrary decisions.
That would be a good caption. It's important to have someone
because that way that builds morale among the rest of the staff.
It seems like people didn't like how soon do you need it, right? That was the other one that we
Don't like that.
I'm taking that out. All right, we got 6.
All right.
These everyone said okay to when we put them on the image.
Oh, but the flesh one is off.
Oh, the flesh one is. I'm sorry, we did like the flesh one.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's the.
I think
that's the best one.
I think the stapler can go because I don't think it didn't work on the image in my head.
It's not great. The stapler is not great.
Yeah, I'm not. So I don't know how. Let me put that. I think that's. I agree with that, Joel. So I don't. We all want to pick 2 and see which one has the most.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
If I go first, I'll go with. Sorry if I can't. And then don't know how to justify this. And then I'll just write it down. And then I'll do the honestly, this is just how I pictured it. It's probably my favorite one. But I'll go with flesh and pictured.
No, the best one is honestly happy. I mean, this flesh thing is very funny, but it's it does it in an offbeat way. It's very, very funny, but the simplicity of and it's doing a lot.
It's so dry. It's
doing a lot in terms of the caption, and that's not my favorite. My personal favorite. The boss's personal favorite way to do it. So the idea of honestly, this is just how I pictured it is wonderful because it works. The ideal platonic ideal of these kinds of caption is neither one makes sense by themselves. Neither one is in any way funny by itself, right? But the combination works perfectly. So in fact, it's a completely pretty much plain vanilla sentence. Honestly, this is just how I pictured it. Not funny at all. I mean, a picture is, of course, humorous, and both of them working together, whereas smells like someone who's been cooking flesh in the microwave again is funny in and of itself. As a sentence.
Well, no, you need the picture because you'd be thinking, why the hell is anybody cooking flesh, or why does it why does it smell like that?
It would be a Jeffrey Dahmer.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Oh, I'm sorry.
But okay,
Drew, do you want to give? Let's see what you.
I'm gonna say 1 would be I want to quit, but I'm waiting for a sign, and 2 would be it's not the heat, it's the flames.
Oh wow! Kiss ass there, Drew. I'm just kidding.
Ooh, I got one. I like that, Drew. I like that, Drew. That's a very good choice, Drew. Should I ever become cartoon editor again? Please come back.
All right, Bob. You have to pick a second now. Are you putting both of yours into?
Wait a second. Don't we just pick one winner and then other?
Okay, we can do that too. Then what? I mean, I was going 2 just in case.
The winner, I think. I mean, don't you think the winner could be? I mean, it's either for me. I want to quit, but I'm waiting for a sign, or honestly, this is just how I pictured it.
That's my favorite too.
I think honestly, this is just how I pictured it. Is my feeling that shows our sophistication. You know what I mean? Because it's not. Other people might think it's funnier, but it's like imagine we are like what the New Yorker used to be, this mysterious ivory towered castle. You don't know what their taste is, and you're trying to intuit the subtlety of it. And so that has a kind of like what you're talking about. It's a little bit underplayed, right? It's not like, the contrast would be Lawrence's one, which is very, very funny. It's not underplayed at all. It's just, it's there and it's very funny. So let's just let's do honestly. This is just how I pictured it. You know, so I'm just doing the. I'm just deciding. I want what I want.
I have to say one quick thing. I did do a search on our site, which is the largest cartoon database in the world for cartoons about hell and The Office. And there's no exact caption like that, but there are ones that surround it in a way. But yeah, this is better than.
Well, in that case, going back to the New Yorker practice, where we did look at whenever we bought a cartoon, we wouldn't publish it unless we checked it against all of those. So whoever entered, honestly, just as I pictured it, you're not going to get $500. And you want to know why? Because of Trevor Hoey.
No, don't blame me on this. I'm just going to say. So here we got this one's captionless. It's kind of funny. It's Satan pushing a guy into hell, and it's
okay. So where's the ones that are similar?
So this is hell. It looks just like my old office. Welcome to hell, cubicles. And I would say that's the one that's the most that looks just like my
I guess it is similar in a way that there are a number of cartoons done about hell which pictures it as an office.
Right.
But
this is a better cartoon. Or here's a Tom Toro. I worked here for 6 years before I noticed it was hell. This is not very different cartoon.
But it's the same idea.
I would say this one's probably the most similar, the Harvey Squadron. So this is hell. It looks just like my old office.
All right. Well, wait. Do I get to put in my vote? Because I have two.
Okay, let's go back. Let's go back. So look, the New Yorker is not taking this much time. And I have to say, because Lawrence, you look, and let me give a temporary shout out to my friend Victor Chung Chuga, who has created a site that takes the stuff from our GitHub, and you can, put in any contest, like, you can go back to, let's say, contest 850. If you wanted to look at that, you can select the contest, and I think it'll select contest. Come on, work. Why is it working? Anyway, it usually works where you can select the contest. You can find where your caption entered. You can look at the status of, I don't know, that's not working now. Anyway, it's called Words Below. And see, it has you, Lawrence Wood. It has all the people who've won the caption contest, how many times. And, I don't know why I'm not getting it, but check it out. It's when it works, it's fast. You can look at your caption. You can see where you can look at, Lawrence. You can look at all your contests and where you the ones that you entered and the ones that you won. But somehow it's not accessing it right now. So that's a shout out to Victor Chung Chuga.
Lawrence,
so now did we decide?
Lawrence is giving his, and we need Joel's too.
All right. Well, my first choice is Cooking Flesh, because I do think that it's more than just funny. It works only in the context of Drew's drawing, because that's why he'd be smelling burnt flesh. And then my second choice,
smelling burnt flesh because they're right outside that cubicle.
Right, exactly. So I think it works there. And then my second choice is Cooking Flesh.
So, Bob, there is like a trope about coworkers cooking like anchovies in the.
Yeah.
It is an office trope. I know Bob might not.
Oh yeah, people in the office complain about colleagues who cook fish in a microwave.
Joel, how about you?
Well, I'm a little bit in trouble because the only one that I really liked was the one that we've just decided can't win, which was the. Can you bring them up again? Because I haven't got them.
Yeah, absolutely. I did. I think it still could work. there are some that are similar, but it's still superior, and it's not like we aren't the New Yorker where we published these
so
before.
I do like, honestly, this is just how I pictured it. That is definitely my favorite. I am struggling to find the second from that list because, again, my take on the whole.
Why do we need a second?
No,
Well,
for a tie-breaking purposes.
Okay, I see.
Joel, what about cooking flesh?
I don't have a second. So if you want to steal my second vote,
I mean, I have honestly. This is just how I picture it. I was waiting for a sign is good. I think
this is superior to anything we have on the site. It's loosely been done before, but then let's look at Lawrence's again.
Okay, and I think the real reason why I want that to be the winner because I feel Lawrence is getting too big for his britches.
And until nobody buys that'll put me in my place.
Yeah. I mean, I was looking back at emails that Lawrence sent me, like from his diary from 2015. He was so deferential then. He was so nice. He respected me so much. Now, it's now all this familiarity has breeded contempt. I never really should have even associated with this guy. I should have maintained my mystery and my aura as cartoon editor. Then I befriended him. Okay.
All right, so that's it.
Can I just ask a question? Because when I saw it, I only saw it from one angle. I just saw it as a office a which flames or a hell-like thing had erupted around. So all my jokes, I think, the jokes I like, reflected that side of it. I wasn't imagining going to hell and going into a cubicle in hell.
There were a lot of Pompeii ones for sure, Joel. Like, you're not the only one. I think a lot of people.
But Pompeii doesn't make sense. Because, really? Things have to make sense? When did this happen? But Pompeii doesn't make sense because it's not in those times, right? But it does make sense as hell because we can conceive hell in various different ways. I think when I first saw this right away, it said office in hell, because I think most people would see that. The only thing that would throw you off is the castle structure, and you're right, and the volcano. The volcano also is that would make you think of that.
All right, so this is it. Are we calling it?
Yeah, we're calling it. This is it. And
before I release the winner, we are a company that is for sale that sells things. We have pet books.
Oh, yes.
They're great, very popular. My dog is here. It has personalized cartoons with pet names, all for sale. CartoonStock.com. Very good Christmas gift, holiday gift. Get them now.
All right, this old blood pressure monitor up on eBay. And I think really, it's very, very
Anything
useful.
else around the
Joel has watches that he can would like to get rid of.
So Drew, do you
want to know what the actual caption is?
We have Drew. Drew, tell us.
Yeah, we want to know. We have to know what then we look at the voting.
Tell us what your caption was.
Oh, my original caption, which was a little bit of a mouthful, which is probably why it never sold, was, sure, the workflow is never ending, but at least we have all of eternity to meet our deadlines.
Oh, I like that.
Yeah, I do like that. It also solves the dilemma that they're definitely in hell. It's definitely, I was wrong. My interpretation of the image was wrong.
So I'm looking up the caption winner. I actually saw there's one that's very close to it. Honestly, I thought it was metaphorical.
I did hit that on my list.
Not as funny, but I want to give a shout out to the person who did something very similar. The winner is actually somebody we do know, Andrew Wellhouse.
Oh, Andrew! Wow, he's cleaning up again.
Andrew Wellhouse.
Wow.
On it. And now let's see how similar we are to the public. The public. I know. Trying to say the public without getting sick.
The great.
Our wonderful fans.
So where I can't see anything.
I'm not sharing it because we did get people were upset that their emails and names were shared. Okay. Oh, number 1. I'll have it to you by the end of days. Boss wants it done by the end of days. I want to quit, but I'm waiting for a sign. I don't think IT knows what a firewall is. Our firewall might be outdated. I take a day off and all hell breaks loose. Not terrible. They denied my request for eternity leave. I think your popcorn is done. I shouldn't have clicked on that link. Have you tried unplugging it and plugging it back in? Ready for your exit interview. That rounds up the top. We are very far from the public today.
But I will say a lot of those that were mentioned were in my top 20.
Yep.
And then I had to cut them out to get down to 10.
So yeah.
Well, I will say this, as you know, both Lawrence and I have looked at, especially the Caption contest. You know, we get about 335 or 400, but they are overall very, very good. You know, and you know, whereas in the normal caption, you get 5,000 or 10,000. So many terrible captions.
Yeah.
But you know, it's a good group of captioneers. All right, so I think that we can all go back to our.
Thank you for entering. We have a lot of ash next time, and have a happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Yep. All right.